Hi, hello, how are you, my people? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Glad and excited to be back. For anyone who is new to this place, you're so much welcome, and thank you so much for coming. For everyone who have tuned in, you're so much welcome. You're in the right place. And as we all know now that this is a place where we come talk, it's a place where we come have some conversations, it's a place where we come learn. And today we are yet again here for a good talk. And today's talk will be about fear. And one thing that we know of is that fear is something that we get to discuss and maybe to talk about each and every other day. Because in most of the instances, you'll be told to do something and you might fail to do it because of fear. You might be given a certain assignment. Maybe you say I'm not able, or maybe I'm not equal to the task because of the fear. Maybe fear of failing, maybe fear of disappointing, maybe the fear of maybe giving results that are poor. And fear is something that is usually so common to us human beings because fear is an emotion. You know, as human beings, we live by emotions, and fear lies in one of the emotions that we human beings at times we get to express. And being an emotion, it happens that it's something that occurs in our normal day-to-day life. It's something that we get to interact with each now and then. Because as much as we say so and so is sad, so and so is happy, the same way we also have this aspect of so and so is in fear. Yeah, fear is an emotion, and most of the times we get to fear even things that we shouldn't be fearing. Maybe we get like to describe what fear is, or maybe even to define what fear is. And according to the common and the known description of fear, we can define fear as fear is an unpleasant feeling that is at times triggered by anticipation, or it's triggered by an awareness of danger. And this could be things that are real and things that are imagined. Because most of the times we get to fear things that we even don't know. So fear is something that happens because of real things and because of imaginary things. And most of the times, the fear we really discourage and the fear that we are here talking about is this fear at times of unimaginary things. You just go sit down somewhere, you get to imagine of things, and now you start fearing them. This is what we came to discuss here, or this is what we are talking about here. Because as we can try to say that fear is brought by various things. And one of the causes of fear is imaginary things that we get to create in our minds, things that we get to imagine, things that we care at times to just visualize, and they bring us fear. At times, yes, fear is brought by things that are real. There is something that is real you can get to encounter, and it triggers fear to you. But one and the foremost is fear of the unknown. We always call it fear of the unknown. And at times, maybe fear is brought about by future circumstance. Maybe at times you thinking about how the future gonna be, or maybe the outcome and such like. But one of the things that we really discouraging and we really here to talk about is this issue of fear of the unknown. You know, there are some people who they have failed to achieve the dreams that they had maybe when they are young, or maybe who at times they were so ambitious, but the fear that they have has made them at times to just lose the track somewhere because of fear. One thing, fear is an enemy, and it's an enemy that we create ourselves. I always call fear as a jail that we will jail ourselves. You know, when you do long and such, like, you're usually taken to a jail, a place where you're locked for a certain duration of time. But now, this jail of fear is a place where we lock ourselves, and at times we don't realize. And you know, it's even better to be locked up somewhere by someone, because this is a place maybe after some time, this person will come and unlock you and you will have your freedom. But when you've jailed yourself in your own cell, you've jailed yourself in your own jail, A place where you only have the keys, you alone have the keys, you alone can unlock it. And maybe you're not even aware that you have locked yourself somewhere. Maybe you're not even aware you're in a certain jail. Because I always say that fear is a jail, it's a cell, a place where that we just lock ourselves. Because most of the times, we ourselves, we initiate fear. Because at times of the things we think about, we always say the enemy will always, that is the devil, he will always ensure that he brings all sorts of fear so that you cannot get closer to your dreams. You cannot even be aligned to that purpose that God had for us in our lives. That's why at times you will always find yourself, anytime you get in closer to that thing that you want to achieve, there's something that comes. Maybe at times it brings fear, at times it brings that sort of you cannot be able, a discouragement kind of. So one thing, that's why even when we get to read the Bible, if there is a phrase that has been used a lot in the Bible, it's the word fear. And in all the instances, God is like urging us not to fear, because he even knows it's the human nature to be afraid. It's the human nature to always be in tension and such like. And now that's why the enemy always uses that loophole to come and discourage us as human beings, to come at times, and that is the thing he uses a lot. And the Bible at times it gets to keep on telling us, do not fear, fear not. And there's this word that I love so much from the book of Isaiah. It's Isaiah 41, yes, 41 and verse 10. And this Bible verse tells us that, do not fear, for I am with you. Do not be afraid, for I am your God. I will strengthen you, I will help you, and I will uphold you with my righteous right hand. And that is a scripture that at times you need to always be having it in your lips. It should be in your fingertips, that anytime anything just tries to come and like trigger you in a way that you like fearing, it's a situation that has come, and at times it's bringing you just get to hear something from you that is telling you should not, you cannot, at times you're in hard situations and you're like wondering whether you'll make it to the till end. Maybe it's a hard situation in life. This is a word that should always at times keep on like inspiring you and giving you that go ahead. Fear not, for I am with you. Do not be afraid, for I am your God. I will strengthen you. This is a word that at times it really encourages me. I'll help you and I'll uphold you with my righteous right heart. And when you get that confidence of whatever at times God is telling us, God knows very well it's the nature of human to be afraid. God knows very well it's the nature of us human beings to at times be afraid. Because at times the things at times that even get us to fear, there are things that are so minor. But God is aware of this thing. God always knows that the devil will always bring fear to us so that he can make us, at times, he can bring like a curtain in front of us so that we cannot see there before. Because in biblically, one thing we can see fear is like the contrary of faith. Biblically, when you get to analyze fear and you get to analyze faith in scriptures, you get to like see that fear is the contrary thing of faith. That's why the enemy, the devil, will always be bringing fear unto us, because he doesn't want us to believe in God. So this is the one assurance that we getting to know, is that the greatest thing that we can always do for us to like overcome fear is having faith in God. Because situations will always come, things will always come. That's why the Bible is insisting and it keeps on telling us that fear not, do not be afraid, do not fear. And God has to keep on reminding us not to fear, because he knows that this is the loophole, this is the main thing that the enemy always brings. Fear is something that we create on ourselves. Have you ever succeeded something that you feared at the beginning, but you like didn't succumb to it and you like stood on the ground and you're like, no, I would fear. I have confidence in God that I'll make it. And on the long after you have succeeded, you always look back and you're like, what was I fearing? What is this that I was fearing? It's something that we create in our mind. Yeah, it's something that at times we develop from our thinking. It's something that you sit down, you think about it. Tomorrow you come and add it up. You build a whole pile up of something you fearing, and it's something that you don't know. There's this thing we always call fear of the unknown. Yeah, you just fearing something because you have thought of the results, and you have concluded that those gonna be the results. Maybe you're planning to ask for a job somewhere, and from the first word go, you got that a certain maybe institution or such, like they have a job vacancy. According to you feel, you start telling yourself, do you know what, you are not qualified. Do you know what, maybe they need someone with you how many years experience. Do you know what, I don't think I can be able to go and face the interview. Do you know, you keep on feeding yourself this so much negativity that you want to support the fear that you have. That's how at times we get to build up fear, to a point that even if you go for that interview, you're so much convinced, even if you apply for that job, you're so much convinced that you'll not get a place in that institution or in that workplace, because fear ate you up in such a manner that it's so full in you. There's this phrase that we always like using in I don't know, say it in Swahili. We always like saying that mimi mtu haezi niuzia uoga. And maybe in English it's saying that I can't allow someone to come and sell fear to me, because most of the times we human beings, we buy, now this in quotes, we buy this fear. Someone will come and tell you, do you know what, don't even apply a job in certain place. Do you know they want someone who is like this? At times the situations, environment, people, they'll come and feed you with information, trying to make you fear, trying to make you feel that you're inferior, you cannot make it, and you're there buying the fear. You buy all those things, you get to reason, you feed your mind with them, and you stand by them. That's how at times we get to get ourselves in these situations of fear. And you fear at times things that you should not be. You know, there are some people who cannot even at times even try up something, because one thing, they fear to fail. And it's not that it's a failure they know about, it's the failure that they are thinking in their mind. You don't want to start up a business because you feel you don't like thrive. You feel you won't have customers. You feel maybe the market is so competitive. You have a fear of so many things. There are these people who will always keep on saying, what if this and this happens? What if this and this happens? Imagine those are things that the enemy is just building in your mind. Imagine those are things that the enemy is just trying to come and confuse you so that you cannot do that what you are purposing to do. At times it's even the issue to do with marriage. You know, at times people have said so many things that are negative about marriage. Until you're there, you have your partner, you don't want to get married, you don't want to marry, just because of things that you have had here out. Don't be here out buying each and every fear that is being sold here out. As we always say in that slang language, that don't keep on buying each and every fear that you hear out. People say that marriage is this and this. That is theirs. Always have this aspect of, let me experience it my way. Because when you get to like listen to whatever each and every person says, you never try up something. If you get to observe what people are going through, you get to read maybe on the social media handles and all that, you'll buy a lot of fear. You'll build a lot of fear in yourself. You'll just pile up a lot of fear, because all the things that you get into like see or you're getting to interact with, they are negative. And that's why we get to have so many fears within ourselves. You keep on saying, if so and so didn't make, how sure am I that I'll make? That is the thing that you're feeding your mind. You know, there's some people who can never try up something when your concern is, if so and so gets to hear of it, how will they think of me? Olive. You can never be focused onto something. Your mind can never tell you something and you fail to like backlash it with a negativity. You build up so much fear in yourself that you're no longer confident in yourself. You don't have faith in anything, because you have allowed fear to take a good part of you. And as I said, fear is always brought by the enemy, because he knows very well if you don't fear, you must have faith. If you don't have faith in God, obviously it's fear that is eating you up. And the reason why you have faith is because you believe God cannot be able to take you through the situation. Because the moment you have faith and you have confidence in God, let me tell you that you'll always be so much confident that nothing that will shake you. You are in a hard situations, you're in a hard circumstance. You remember there is God. You just get sucked up. You just get encouraged. You remember whatever God is telling you about fearing and about his word. And you just get psyched up, you get encouraged, and that thought that you had of fearing, it just fades away. So one thing I can like to assure us is that just know any fear that you have created or you have brought into your life, it comes from the enemy. That is the work of the enemy, and he's trying to confuse you. He is trying to come and create a barrier so that you cannot get to your dreams. If there's something you want to achieve, that thing that is bringing fear, that thing that is bringing delay, that is the enemy. And the only way you can at times defeat him, it's having confidence in God. It's having faith in God. It's having dependency on God. Believing that whatever comes may. Do you know some of the things that we haven't achieved? We haven't achieved them because we haven't tried. And the reason we haven't tried, it's because of fear. Fear has messed most of us. There are so many people at times who could be very up there, maybe in businesses, maybe in career and all that. They could be up there. At times, maybe even in talents and such like. You know you are talented in a certain way, but you cannot be there out to showcase your talent because you fear. What will people say? What will my friends say? What will so and so say? At times, it's always good to be strict and be so certain on whatever they say isn't an issue. Don't always be there out seeking for people's affirmations, because at times people will never affirm you, because maybe they don't want you to succeed. Maybe they don't want to see you up there. So you have to have confidence in yourself. You have to believe that all is possible with God. And you will have that confidence. You will have that psyche to continue trying. It doesn't matter however much you have failed. You will never know how failure looks like if you don't try and fail. You will always be fearing failure, a failure that you don't know about. It's good at times to even fear something that you know about. Try, fail the first time. You know, when you'll be trying the second time, you will not feel like you failed the first time. The failure will be a bit minimal. When you'll be trying the third time, that's how you get to success. But the moment you're there out just fearing, you fear to start, you fear to begin. You never get there up if you're still fearing from the minor stage here down. And the reason why we are not starting up, it's because we fear a lot. We fear a lot. We fear failing. We fear not succeeding. We fear at times, maybe what will people say? I always say, if you're still in that stage of what will people say, you cannot do something because people will say. You cannot at times even, you cannot speak out what you feel like. You cannot speak up your mind in the thought of what will people say. You are in a very bad place in relation to fear. Because that's where most of the people are like. You certain cocoon that you fear too much. How many days will they talk? Bola, you're doing something positive. How many days would they talk? At times there are even people who fear serving God. They fear getting born again. They fear at times being committed to God's work because of what will people say. What if I get born again and maybe I get to backslide in the middle? How sure are you that you can backslide? Have you tried? You know, at times it's always good to try. Maybe at times you're trying to leave a certain kind of addiction. Maybe at times you're into alcoholism and you want to leave it and you're like, are you sure I'll be able? What if I tell my friends that I've stopped drinking and they then get me drinking? Yeah, you at times cannot do anything because of how much you fear. At times you maybe for like men, you get to see a certain lady, and according to you feel that this lady can be a life partner, but you fear so much, you cannot approach her. You cannot go and tell her whatever, because you will even go there, say hi to her. You don't have even the confidence to even tell her, maybe help me with your contact and such. You will not talk to her because of the fear that you have. At times we create so much fear within us. It's the fear of the unknown. I always say, and this is, I'll repeat it again and again, the only way that we can be able to defeat our fear is facing the fear itself. That is the only way. There is no other solution of fighting fear other than facing the fear itself. You see that fear you've created within yourself. You see that thing that you see that is so mighty that you cannot conquer it. The only way you'll ever conquer it is just going to it head on. Yes. There is no other way that you'll ever be able to conquer a certain fear. You have to go for it head on. Just face it. Yes. So don't start looking for other ways that you can conquer a certain kind of fear. There is no other way. There is no other way of conquering fear. It's just facing the fear itself. If at all your fear is starting up a business, just go and start it. Let it fail. Next time you won't fear because you have the first experience. Yes. You see that thing that you fear too much, go try it the first time. You'll even laugh at yourself and you'll be like, what is this that I was fearing? What is this that I saw so big? Because fear is something that at times, it's something you cannot trace and say it's this, because it's an imaginary thing. Maybe it's something that you ever heard from your great-great-parents, and at times it's something that has been in your family. And now you have said to yourself, do you know in our family? Do you know in our family? Do you know in our family? You fear so much. And as I said, if at all you want to conquer this issue of fear, face it head on and have faith in God. Those are the only two ways that you only be able to conquer fear. You have to have faith in God. And with the faith and confidence you have in God, you'll be able to conquer the fear that is ahead of you. And I'll repeat this Bible verse again. Isaiah 41 and verse 10. Always have it as your stronghold. Do not fear, for I am with you. Do not be afraid, for I am your God. I'll strengthen you, I'll help you, and I'll uphold you with my righteous right hand. In every situation that at times you feel like it's weakening you and you feel like it's bringing you down, always say that scripture. Always remember that scripture that God is telling me, do not fear, for I am with you. God is always with us. Do not be afraid, for I am your God. Oh, I really love this scripture. I will strengthen you. When you fear, at times you feel weak. At times you even shake. God is telling us that I will strengthen you. I will help you. It's a situation that you feel it's so hard that you cannot be able. One, He will strengthen you. Second, He will help you. And not just that. He adds by saying, I will uphold you with my righteous right hand. God will just hold your hand. He will strengthen you. He will help you. And on top of that, He will uphold you with His righteous right hand. What else are you fearing then? What else are you fearing? Why can't you just hold the scripture? Go to your problem. Go to your fear. It doesn't matter whoever told you what. It doesn't matter whoever told you this, and you carry that thing within yourself. Maybe at times you have ever gone to hospital and maybe you are sick or you are ill, and the doctor kind of tells you, do you know this is an illness that at times maybe it's hereditary and such like, and maybe you cannot stay beyond a certain age, and you create that thing within yourself and you carry it within yourself and it eats you up. Most of the times you even get to realize there are some people at times who it's not the entire, maybe the illness or the situations that gets to finish them or maybe gets even to kill them. It's the fear. The fear will kill you even before the illness or the sickness you have kills you. You see that hard situation that you have, before it even gets to blow you up, before it finishes you, the fear that you have created and the fear that you have will finish you before. Because at times we create big things. we create a fear that at times is so great. You cannot sleep, you cannot be at ease because of the great fear that we have created within ourselves. Because do you know that fear is a state of mind? Fear is not a fact. It's not a fact, it's a state of mind. That's why you'll get to ask someone, what exactly are you fearing? And unless this person gives an explanation, they cannot really define whatever they fear. And we get fears from so many things. At times, you get to fear things because of experience, at times because of our background, maybe things that used to happen in our families, and you fear maybe they will come and happen to you. And all these things, one thing that I say is that the only the two ways that you'll be able to conquer fear, just have faith in God. Second, just run to face your fears head on. Those are the only two ways that you'll be able to conquer. It doesn't matter wherever the fear is coming from. Those are the only two ways that we'll be able to conquer faith with. And as I said again and again, fear comes from the enemy. Yeah, it's the devil who brings fear to us. It's the devil who inflicts fear into our mind. You get to think about it and you see it as real. So always know that fear is a state of mind. It's not a fact. Fear got no facts. At times, the things we fear, they are imaginary things that you're not certain of, things that results that you're fearing, not that you have experienced it, but it's because you're fearing. So my encouragement and my emphasis in this talk is just know that fear is a state of mind. It's never a fact. The two ways of conquering fear: having faith in God and conquering and facing your fears head on. And always have this Bible verse as your stronghold in any time you feel that you're afraid. Always know that the Bible is reminding us day by day, do not fear, for I am with you. Do not be afraid, for I am your God. I'll strengthen you, I'll help you, I'll uphold you with my righteous right hand. Until next time, bye bye. For those who have not subscribed, kindly consider subscribing.